Good morning. Well, it'll probably be a little after lunch or maybe in the afternoon when you're seeing this video. Man, oh man, first things first, I gotta say this. It was absolutely freezing last night. I've had the heat on, or not the heat, my bad, the AC on in my house the past 3 or 4 weeks because winter's basically over. We're heading into spring. Time to start cutting grass. It is what it is. You just got to get used to it. But my point is, last night at 2 a.m., I wake up. I'm like, dang, it's kind of cold in my room. I go check the thermostat. It's 57 degrees. I had to turn the heat on. Let me know in the comment section. And by the way, I'm in northern Alabama, so hasn't been too cold recently. Let me know in the comment section if it was cold last night. But as you can see on your screen right here, we're going to talk about this in just a second. The round of 32 is officially over. The round of 64, it's over. We are now moving on to the Sweet 16, and as you can see here, updating on my bracket. I'm still at 4%. If you're new here, haven't been watching the last couple of videos, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It's been rough, but however, I've been receiving a lot of requests saying, Matt, when they open the second chance brackets, which I'll show you in just a second, where we can do the Sweet 16, we got to go on a redemption tour, and that's what we're doing. I'm going to pull it up right here. So in today's video, as you can see right here, bracket busted, play tournament challenge, second chance. Sounds interesting. Pick the winner starting from the Sweet 16 and take another shot, or 25. I'm not filling out 25 brackets. That's weirdo energy. I fill out one at perfection with our second chance bracket game. And that's what we're going to do in today's video. But first things first, let's take a look at how my 16, how I had it going compared to what really happened. I picked Alabama to win it, so obviously I got the one right. But I had Alabama playing Virginia, not San Diego State. So that one, not too bad. And down here, I just completely missed it. Creighton and Princeton. I had NC State versus Arizona. That one was just way off. Continuing to go down here, I was way off again. I had Memphis matching up with Oral Roberts. That didn't happen. We got FAU and Tennessee, the Vol Nation. But here's one I got right, 2 for 2. I had Kansas State match up with Michigan State, or Michigan State. And that's what happened. I got the one right. Told you guys, I absolutely love this Kansas State team. I actually got them winning again, playing Memphis, and I believe I have Kansas State going to my Elite Eight. I got them going to my Elite Eight, had them losing to Memphis, as you can see right here. I can't click on it really. That's it for that side. Going back up here, I had Houston, they're there, but I had Houston playing Indiana, so I kind of got close on that one. Indiana got blown out by Miami, and then didn't even get one right here. I had Kennesaw State matching up with A&M. Both of them lost in round one. Going down here, I had Kansas playing Iona. Didn't get one right there. And I got one right here. I had TCU beating Gonzaga and matching up with UCLA. Man, oh man, that might be the game of the day, or the game of the Sweet 16. That's the one I'm looking forward to the most. So as you can tell, my bracket is complete trash. However, we get to redeem ourselves. Like I stated, we're creating a new bracket, the Sweet 16 bracket. What is this? I don't want to enter no challenge. Okay, here we go. Sweet 16 bracket. Got it pulled up right here. Time for redemption. Matt in the building. And real quick, best editor on YouTube. Yeah, right there. That should be good. Yeah, I say we start out how we start out the other one. We got Alabama, San Diego State. Not going to overthink this one. Alabama, way too much. They're hot. Brandon Miller, he's hitting his strides. He ain't even played that well recently. This Alabama team hasn't played that well. I'm not going to ramble on it. You'll know how I feel about them. They are really good. I got Alabama moving along. And oh yeah, by the way, I need to clarify this. My Sweet 16 bracket, it's not based off of what I originally thought was going to happen. So although I had Alabama winning it originally, this can change based off of what I saw in rounds 1 and rounds 2. I hope that makes sense. Alabama will be playing the winner of Creighton and Princeton. This is an interesting matchup because not many people had this matchup happening in the first place. And oh yeah, by the way, in my original bracket, I said Creighton's a part of the Cupcake Conference. I don't know why I said that. I saw a lot of you saying, Matt, what are you talking about? They're in the Big East. I guess I just had a brain lapse. I forgot Creighton was in the Big East. I don't know why I forgot that. I just forgot it. I thought they were in some Mountain West conference. I don't know why I thought that. Creighton's in the Big East. I'm sorry to the Big East fans. I didn't mean to disrespect you, and I didn't mean to disrespect Creighton fans. I just forgot. As far as it goes for this game, Princeton, I had them beating Missouri. I was right on that because Missouri, just not that very good. Princeton, they were hot. And here's the thing about March Madness and why it's different from every other sport out there. There's no experts. There's none of this, none of that. It's all about matchups. That's why in March Madness, you see these mid-major teams beating these high blue blood major D1 powerhouses. It's all about matchups and who's hot. Every single year, you see a low mid-major school, or matter of fact, you see a couple of them beating a powerhouse. For example, in college football, you will never, and I mean never see a mid-major team beat a powerhouse like an Alabama or a Georgia. It's just not going to happen. For example, to put the Princeton over Arizona upset or the Fairleigh Dickinson upset in perspective, that would be the equivalent of TCU beating Georgia in the national championship. And if Georgia played TCU 10 times, Georgia would have won that game 10 times. There's never going to be an upset in college football like there is going to be in March Madness. So theoretically speaking, could Princeton beat Creighton? Could Princeton beat Alabama? Yes, they could. But in this one, I'm taking Creighton. I love their point guard, Andrew Nebhard. I love the white guy, Shireman. He can shoot lights out. I just think Creighton, they match up well with Princeton because they're both fundamental teams, but Creighton, they got way more athletes. I got Creighton moving along. That's going to be a good game. We'll address that in just a second. Going down here to our East bracket, we got FAU. Man, did y'all see that guy try to pull off that dunk at the end? How do y'all feel about that? As a former competitor myself, yeah, I know most people are going to say, oh, man, that's unclassy, bad sportsmanship. I don't mind it. I really don't. He's a kid having fun. I don't mind it. I know I'm going to be the oddball out. But the way I live my life is you got to dominate every single day. I know it's not classy. I didn't mind it. I just view it as a kid having fun. If it is in the NBA, okay, different story. These are college kids. You got to remember that. I think Tennessee, they're going to take some anger out. They're going to lock up FAU. Here's the thing. FAU and Tennessee, it's a bad matchup for FAU because FAU, what are they? They're an offensive team. They like to run and gun. Tennessee, they're going to put an end to that. I would be shocked if FAU scores over 60 points. Tennessee is a defensive team. And also, I don't think Tennessee is going to have problems scoring on FAU. I think Tennessee wins this one by about 10, 15 points. One thing about predicting these games is you always want to go with the team, or more times than not, you want to go with the team that has really good defense because you can always count on your defense. You can't always count on your offense. Defense travels. FAU's a solid team. They're going to put up a fight, but Tennessee's defense is going to be too much. I like the Vols in that one. Kansas State, Michigan State, it is hard, and I mean, it is really hard to pick against Tom Izzo. This dude is just, he has an act for winning. I don't know what it is in March. He always takes these low-seeded Michigan State teams to the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, and I think he has a winning percentage of 740, or it's .714 in Sweet 16 games. I want to take Michigan State, but Kansas State, they're hot. They got the point guard who's averaging like 8 assists per game. They got the one guy from Florida, is it Keontae Johnson? I believe that's his name. I like Kansas State in this one. I got them moving along. Too much firepower. However, this decision did not come lightly. I want you to understand this. This is almost a coin flip for me. Michigan, I got Kansas State 51, Michigan State, like percentage-wise, Kansas State 51, Michigan State 49. I was this close to changing my original bracket going Michigan State, but I like Kansas State moving along here. Moving to the right side of our bracket in the Midwest, we got Houston, Marcus Sasser. He's back, baby. He's back. Hopefully, he's not going to be 100% in this game, but I hope he's around 85%. In Miami, Houston's defense, it is tough. It is tough. But Miami, don't sleep on them. I got Houston moving along. I'm going to keep that one short and simple. Then we got Xavier and Texas. I've been sleeping on Xavier. I'm not going to lie. I've been sleeping on the Zaves. And then we got Texas. I've also been sleeping on them. I thought they were going to get upset, but here they are. Very interesting matchup because both of them like to score a lot of points, push the ball. Texas has a bunch of athletes. Xavier, they got size. There's not really a bad matchup for either team in this one. Like I told you guys, don't overcomplicate these things. I don't know what it is. There's something about Xavier I'm not sold on. With Texas, I'm sold on them. They feel like they got that veteran team with Marcus Carr running the point. They got Drew Allen, or what's his name? Is it Timmy Allen? Yeah, my bad. It's Timmy Allen. My apologies for that. They got Timmy Allen, the senior. I just feel like Texas, they got the experience. They're ready to go. They win this game. Our last two games before we get into the Elite Eight, things are heating up. We got Arkansas versus UConn. I've also been sleeping on UConn. Well, I haven't been sleeping on UConn, really. I think I told you guys in a video 2 days ago, watch out for this team. Remember, this UConn team beat Alabama early on. If you don't know I know a lot of people know a lot about Alabama. Not many people know a lot about UConn. All you need to know about UConn is they're another version of Alabama. I'm not even going to call them the Dollar General version of Alabama. They have similar play styles. I like this UConn team. However, Arkansas, what is it about this team? They struggle all throughout the season. This has happened the past 3 or 4 years. Struggle in the regular season. Even this year, they struggled in the SEC tournament. But what do you know? March Madness rolls around. Eric Musselman, he has some guys ready to go. I think the X factor in this game is going to be Nick Smith. Very weird because he's supposed to be this lottery pick in the NBA. But for Arkansas, he either scores 25 points or 5 points. He's hit or miss. He's the X factor. If he gets hot, I think Arkansas can beat UConn. But if he doesn't play good, I have a hard time seeing this Arkansas team win. And also, you got to watch out for the Walsh guy for Arkansas. If you don't know who that is, it's the bald dude. If he has a good game, normally Arkansas wins. If he has a bad game, normally they lose. I think UConn pulls this one out. I like the way they're playing. I can't count on Arkansas. I can't count on them. I know what I'm going to get out of UConn. That's why I got them moving along. Finally, last but not least, we got Drew Tibbert versus the Vets. The UCLA. What's their name now? Oh, yeah, the Bruins. The UCLA Bruins. Man, this UCLA team, every time I watch them, I'm like, how do these guys got eligibility left? Same thing for Drew Tibbert at Gonzaga. How does Drew Tibbert have eligibility left? And by the way, apparently he can come back next year if he wants. What's going on? That dude's been playing basketball at Gonzaga for 7 years, but regardless of that, I love this UCLA team. I think out of all these Sweet 16 matchups, this is the one you gotta watch. Oh yeah, it is going to be prime time, 8:45 p.m. Oh, man, who do we want to pick in this one? I'm going to tell y'all, Gonzaga, I think they're deeper than UCLA, but I have such a hard time picking against Tiger Campbell and Hawkes. Those guys, they give me the comfort to pick UCLA in this matchup. I got UCLA moving along. I think it's going to be close. Wouldn't be shocked if the Zags win this game. Probably should be picking them to win, but I got UCLA. Now we're in the Elite Eight. Hold on, best editor on YouTube. We got Alabama Crimson Tide. Why'd I say it like that? We got Alabama Crimson Tide versus Creighton. Gonna keep this one short and simple. I got Alabama moving along. Too athletic, too good. They got the star player. I think Brandon Miller in this game goes off for 35 points. Alabama's moving along to the Final Four. We got Tennessee and Kansas State. I like this Kansas State team. I really like them. I'm keeping these short and sweet. I don't think there's too much to say. I like Kansas State. There's something about them. It feels like this is a special year for this team. And for Tennessee, you had a good run, but I think they lack offense in this game. I don't think they can keep up with Kansas State. I got Kansas State moving along. And oh yeah, Kansas State already beat Kentucky. And Kentucky is way more talented than Tennessee. I don't know if Kentucky's better as a team than Tennessee, but they're more talented. So Kansas State's going to be two SEC teams. We got Alabama and Kansas State matching up in the Final Four. In the Midwest, we got a matchup between the Houston Cougars and the Texas Longhorns. I think many people out there are going to say, oh yeah, Houston, no doubt about it, but I'm going with the upset. I got Texas pulling out the upset. I think Texas scores a lot of points in this game. They're going to dice up that Houston defense. And I think Marcus Sasser, with him not being 100%, bites him in the butt. I got Texas pulling off the big-time upset. And I do think that is a big-time upset because most people got Houston moving along to the finals. At the very bottom here in the West bracket, we got UConn and UCLA. Originally, I had UCLA going to the finals against Alabama. However, I've changed my mind after watching UCLA and UConn play. This UConn team is tough, and I mean really tough. I got UConn pulling off, I guess you could say a slight upset. They beat UCLA. Too much firepower. Give me a second here. Best editor on YouTube. And in the Final Four, ladies and gentlemen, we got Alabama, K-State, Texas, and UConn. Taking a look at the left side of the bracket here. Bama and K-State. Do I need to say anything more about Alabama? I don't have to convince you. If you watch them play, you know they're good. They're good, man. I got Alabama beating K-State. However, I think it comes down to a last second. I'm going to take the Tide. Crimson Tide are moving along to a championship, so that doesn't change there. On the right side of the bracket, we got Texas and UConn. Very, I don't want to say a weird matchup, but an odd one. Texas, yeah, they like to run and gun, but not as much as UConn. Like I said, UConn is Alabama. UConn, run. Texas, they want to run, and they can also play slow. Sometimes they do want to slow the game down. They can do that with their point guard, Marcus Carr. That dude's a legend. I mean, the dude, he can win a game by himself. And I don't think UConn has a player like that. And for that reason, I got Texas pulling off. I would say this is the upset because UConn's hot. I got Texas pulling off the upset. They beat UConn. And in the finals, we got a football matchup back from 2011, right? Or 2009. Which one? No, 2009. Alabama and Texas in the championship. Who would have thought in 2023 you got Alabama and Texas playing in the championship? Not in football. In basketball, what's going on? Times are changing. We got Alabama and Texas. I can't even believe this. I think it's going to be a great matchup. But I think the biggest X factor in this game isn't players. It's not Miller. It's not Marcus Carr. It's not Timmy for Texas. It's Nate Oates. It's the head coach. I think head coaches matter a ton in your Elite Eight, Final Four games, and especially your championship games. Head coaches matter a ton. Remember last year in the championship, what happened? North Carolina, they're up at 15 at the halftime. 15 points. But guess what? Kansas had a better coach. He made adjustments. Who wins? Kansas. I think Alabama, they get off to a sluggish start. Texas jumps all over them. But in the second half, Nate Oates makes the adjustments. He puts the pressure on Texas. Alabama wins this game. And I guess you can't even predict the score. It just says how many total, right here, it just says how many total points will be scored in the national championship. I think it's going to be pretty high scoring. Let's say 163. That's about an 82 to 81 ball game. I like that. Submit. Wait. Submit. Woo! Champions again. Feels good. I had Alabama winning my original bracket. I'm sticking with them. Too big, too strong, too lanky, too deep. This Alabama team's just deep, man. And that's why I got to win in the championship. They're deep. UCLA is as good as Alabama with the starting five, but they're not deep. Alabama is deep. Think about this. Brandon Miller scored 0 points in an NCAA tournament game, and Alabama won by 21. In the last game against Maryland, he was 5 for 17 from the field, and Alabama won by 22. Heck, if Miller gets hot, you can't beat him. You just simply can't. To go on top of that, Alabama has another guy, the point guard, Mark Sears. He ain't even been hitting his shots. And we all know they got JQ, Javon Quinterly. He's in his March Madness mode. It just feels like this might be the year for Alabama. I hope it's the year. Y'all know I'm an Alabama fan. And I know some people are going to say, oh, Matt's being biased. You're entitled to your own opinion. I just think Alabama's the best team. I have a hard time seeing them lose. However, like I also stated, it's March Madness. Anybody can lose. Should we create another bracket? I'm just playing. We're not going to do all of that. But last but not least, before we end off this video, here's what we're going to do. So I was scrolling on Twitter this morning, and I also saw this. Andy Katz, he came out with his power rankings for the top 16, or not the top 16, but the 16 teams remaining. And I haven't even really, I got it pulled up, so obviously I glanced at it, but I haven't really dissected it. Let's take a look at it. Number 16, you got FAU, 15, Princeton. Okay, I don't have a problem with. Wait. Princeton over FAU? I don't know if I agree with that. I'd probably switch those out. San Diego State at 14. Kind of agree with that. I'm not too high on them. K-State at 13. I don't agree with that. Creighton, Tennessee, Miami, Michigan State, Xavier. Arkansas at 7 above K-State. I would probably switch these. I'd put Arkansas at 13. Yeah, I would switch these, as a matter of fact. I'd go K-State 7, Arkansas 13. Xavier at 8. I probably don't have a problem with that. UConn 6, Zags 5, UCLA 4. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this top 6. I really don't. Probably switch these out. 5 and 6 with UConn. Yeah, Alabama 2. Alabama, Houston 1 and 2. I agree with that. I think they're the top 2 teams left. And I know what some of you are saying. Well, Matt, you got Texas beating Houston. That's just because I feel the upset in the game. Texas matches up well with Houston. It's all about matchups in the NCAA tournament, baby. Let's check out some of the comments, though. I wonder what people are saying. K-State at 13 is horrendous. I agree with that. That's why I said UConn at 6 is ridiculous. Is it, though? I think Gonzaga is better than UConn. I think UCLA is better. I don't think UConn at 6 is horrendous. I'm not going to look at all these comments. You guys can do it for yourself. The Redemption Tour is here. When do these games start? On Thursday? Yeah. I believe they start on Thursday. We'll see if I was right or not. I'm pretty sold on this as a perfect bracket. I guess we'll see. Let me know your thoughts down below. But that will be